Hello, everybody. Welcome to the lunch table. My name's Evan. Today I'm joined with Zach, Nick, and Joel. We're back after a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks since we recorded, but we're back. We've been busy with school and all that stuff, but we're getting back on track here with some week 7 recap and week 8 predictions as we start heading in here towards the middle of the NFL season. We're in full swing now. Lots to talk about, so we'll get right into it. But before we do, make sure to like this video, subscribe if you enjoyed, and to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at lunchtable.takes. All right, first off, for the week 7 recap, we'll talk Jags Saints, the Thursday night football game. It was a mid-off, as we like to say. Nothing really too crazy, but the Jags won 31-24. So who wants to start us off today?
I mean, the Saints very well could have won that game, honestly.
I agree. The highlight of that game that defines how mid/bad that game was Derek Carr throwing it 10 yards out of bounds and then ripping Chris Olave.
Yeah, and then yelling at Chris Olave for not catching it.
Like, you played that bad. I mean, he threw for 300 yards, like
on 55 attempts.
On 55 attempts.
My gosh, I didn't know he threw 55.
Alvin Kamara is still a freak, though.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin Kamara is a stud. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I think we're starting to see the Jags definitely develop a little more to what we were expecting them to look like as at the beginning of the season. They've definitely solidified that run game. Travis Etienne over these past couple games has been unreal, to say the least. Trevor Lawrence is starting to pick it back up again. Not like dynamic, high numbers and things like that, but you can tell he's looking a lot better and more, I would say, comfortable, so to say, out there. But yeah, I think overall the Jags are finally starting to get into that form that we expected them to be at the beginning of the season. And that's my big take from this game, even though it was a Thursday night game.
Yeah, I think I'm eating right now, so I won't talk as much. But I think my main my biggest takeaway was, like Joel said, I think we're starting to see the Jags get back to what we thought they were going to be, slowly but surely. Also, my other thing is that, like, we said that this is going great. All right. We said that Travis. All right.
Are you okay?
I got broccoli in my... We said that Travis Etienne was going, like, he's just going off and he's insane, which he is. But, like, my thing is, like, why don't the Jags give him the ball more? Like, I feel like they don't really actually give him the ball that much. Like, he got, I don't even know what he got.
Zach, he's getting, like, 19 touches a game.
He had
19, 20
but, like,
specifically 14
like, they ran him, like, 12.
He had 14 rushes, right?
Yeah.
That's
he had 14 rushing attempts with 5 targets. So he had 19. He technically had 19.
Yeah, he had 17 touches.
I'm talking specifically in the run game, though. Like, I don't feel like the Jags are running the ball enough to him.
Well, he's the only one. Him and Lawrence are the only ones running the ball.
They have to build their offense around their number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
They can't just not let Lawrence throw the football after drafting.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I feel like 14 carries is a little low.
You're saying that because he's on your freaking fantasy team.
I'm saying that in general.
You don't say that at all about Joe Mixon.
No, I do. I think the Bengals need to run the ball more.
I mean, I agree, but you're not bringing that up a whole lot on these.
Oh, but I do.
I didn't realize that
We
this
need to run more.
Go ahead.
This was Etienne's 3rd straight game with 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah,
he's very efficient. Yeah.
He's getting all those red zone touches.
He is getting carries, Zach. He had 19 carries, 20 carries, 26 carries, 18 carries, 14 carries. So he's
Yeah,
getting the ball
he's
plenty.
26.
fine.
He's getting the ball.
26. That's like half of your offensive plays
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
a good day where you have the ball a ton.
He's getting the ball plenty.
Maybe
You know who's not getting the ball is Calvin Ridley.
Calvin
maybe
Ridley's
I'm
not getting the
just
ball
telling
at
you,
all.
He's not
he
getting the
run
ball. We
Hey, he's been
expected
betting the
Calvin
under since
Ridley.
week 1.
Yeah, no, we expected Calvin Ridley to be this like breakout like candidate with now that he's on the
that
Jags. and
has just not happened.
It
No.
has not at all. It's been Christian Kirk's been the guy, which
Which
I
it
guess
was
is
last year.
surprising. Yeah, but I mean he was last year, so but it's just interesting how like Calvin really had all this preseason hype, and on the season he's 27 catches, 368, and 2 touchdowns. He's averaging he's not doing anything crazy. So he hasn't caught a touchdown since like 4 weeks. So but yeah, like you both said, the Jags are kind of getting back on track, looking more like a team that we thought they would be. There's still a little bit of work to do, but Trevor, this is one of Trevor's better games. Only had 9 completions, 200 yards and touchdown. And then on the Saints side of things, I mean, Alvin Kamara has been a beast since he came back from his suspension. He's been really good, but you're being held back by Derek Carr, and that's just how it is. I mean, Olave has taken a hit in his production this year. Because Carr really hasn't gotten in the ball a whole lot. Yeah, Michael Thomas has done little to nothing. So,
I don't get why the Saints won't draft a quarterback. Like, why do they just keep rolling
They
with these
signed
plug
Derek
and play guys?
Carr because they wanted to go all in, and it's backfiring. They thought their team was good enough to win a Super Bowl with a
In
mediocre.
what
quarterback.
world is Derek Carr the guy to win you a Super Bowl, even if the rest
You
of your team
got to remember, Zach, that man was in the running for an MVP a couple years back.
That was a long way back.
Yeah, that was like 8 years ago. But
Still, you got to think about that. I mean,
He's not the same Derek Carr.
he literally led them to not a Super Bowl, but a playoff game.
yeah, and then
back.
yeah, the
Like
Colts,
8 years ago, though, wasn't
the
it?
No,
Colts broke his leg.
literally
and
the
then-
Bengals beat them.
Oh, that is right. That
Okay, but also that
With
was
the-
more
with the-
of the Colts and Chargers imploding than the actual ability of the Raiders.
I mean, I get that, but you
Remember-
still get to the point that they made the playoffs.
Yeah,
They still made the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'm just
Someone
saying
had to
Derek
put them in
Carr-
that situation. Your quarterback's the head guy that's going to get you to that.
But Derek Carr is like, he's just not. I don't think he's that guy. Like, I think the Saints have got to go a different route here. I think they got to draft the guy and like
how
build.
much
around
money
him.
did they give him though?
like 180 mil over 4 years.
It was like 180. Yeah,
Yes, they're
Like, I just don't get why they keep going with these like plug and play guys. Like, it was Jameis Winston and now it's Derek Carr. Like, I just don't. Okay, well, they went.
Well, I think a big reason for that is they've never been bad enough to where they can they're in a position to draft one of these like top quarterbacks. They've always been kind of in like the mediocre part of like the NFL, and so they've really not had a chance to have a top 5 pick.
They might this year though, because it's a really deep quarterback class.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we
they're-
bring it
but
up
they're-
every single podcast that this quarterback class is deep, but
Mhm.
it's
Because it
true.
is.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're 3-4, so like they're not.
They're not
totally,
out
like,
of it
They're
by
not
any
out of it
means,
by any
but-
means.
And in their division, they very well could win it because the division just sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
Very
The
true.
Saints smartly went all in in like the twilight of Drew Brees' career
Yep.
because the roster around them was good and Drew Brees is a Hall of Fame level quarterback, so you got to do what you can. They're now like reaping the repercussions of going all in and it not succeeding for you.
They
You're
won
kind of
the
in a
Super
hole.
Bowl with him.
No, I'm saying like
No,
they won the
that's
Super Bowl like 15 years ago with Drew
Yeah.
Brees. I'm
Yeah,
talking
so-
about at the end of his career because they kind of had like a 4-year period where their defense was just awful and they kept missing the playoffs. So they drafted well and then went all in on extensions and trades to try to win another ring with Drew Brees.
That's true.
And now the contracts of that are starting to rear their ugly heads. Drew Brees is
Yep.
gone. Derek Carr's not the guy. They're kind of in a big hole that's
Mhm.
going to take a few years to get out of.
They've been trying to navigate the cap space for the
Next
past.
year is going to be catastrophic for them.
Yeah.
They're like $90 million above the cap right now.
Oh,
It is awful. It is so bad.
And it's been similar to that the past like 4 years too.
Yeah.
So that's why they couldn't bring Trey Hendrickson back.
Mhm.
Also, real quick on the Jaguars side of things, their one weakness is pass rush.
Yeah.
Like their one glaring weakness is their lack of a pass rush. And they drafted Trayvon Walker, who is projected to be, he's looking like he's going to be one of the most irrelevant first overall picks in NFL history. And they had Aiden Hutchinson right there. And
that was a horrendous draft.
it was not a great deal for the
There's
Jags.
still time, but
Yeah.
I don't think Aiden
I get what
Hutchinson's all
you
bad
mean.
either, but
there's still
Better
time.
than
but-
Trayvon
Aiden
Walker.
Hutchinson would help them tremendously right now.
Because they would have him
Yeah.
and Josh Allen,
Yeah.
which would be
Josh
nice.
Allen is a stud.
Josh Allen is good, but he can also be double teamed when we only got one guy like that.
Yeah, that's true. Very
And
true.
he's not like a transcendent like TJ Watt, Miles Garrett, Nick Bosa type guy.
Yeah.
He's in that second tier of pass rushers.
you have to
Absolutely.
say Micah Parsons.
Yeah, and Micah Parsons too. He's not really like an edge rusher though.
Dude plays everywhere, Zach.
Yeah,
He's a
he
Swiss.
plays everywhere.
He's a
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife.
He can do a little bit of everything. He's not like a designed edge rusher. though.
I would put him in there.
I mean, I get it. But
He can play edge rusher. He
Yeah.
can do everything. He could probably play corner if he really wanted to.
He can do everything more than you can, Nick.
all right, next,
Say anything. I didn't
next.
say that he couldn't.
Someone tweeted Derek Carr drove Henry Ruggs and Chris Olave insane.
That's
I like
so
this
awful,
one.
dude.
Derek Carr waiting outside the police station.
That is
Yeah, because Chris Olave got arrested. Did
That's
you
so
see
bad.
the video where he was like, "Bro, I play on the Saints," and the officer was like, "I don't care."
I don't care. I know.
You're driving that fat. Like, come
I don't really
on,
care
dude.
who you play for.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody else do that? They got pulled over and he was like, can't
It was
remember.
Yeah, it was
Ozuna for the Braves.
Marcelo Ozuna.
"Oh
for the
yeah,
Braves.
It's like,
Marcelo Ozuna. He
I'm
said I
Ozuna
played
from
for
the
the
Braves."
Cardinals.
It was
Oh
the
yeah, it was
Braves.
the Braves.
yeah."
He said, "I'm Ozuna from the Braves," and the officer was like, "What? Like, what are you talking
So
about?"
I don't care.
I thought it was the Cardinals.
No, it was the Braves.
It was the Braves.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Braves.
That's brutal.
Yeah. All right.
like that's your get out of jail free card. Like,
Yeah, that's not gonna get you anywhere.
So-
They just know to up your bail a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
All right, moving
Is he
on.
playing
We got
this week or like
what?
huh?
is Olave gonna play this week?
I don't
I
know.
have no
He
idea.
might. I don't.
He probably
I don't
is
know.
already out, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say he's probably
Might be.
already out, but
I wouldn't say there's anything too crazy.
Yeah.
just driving 35 over.
Yeah.
We've done it before. I'm just kidding. Zach's done it before.
We don't need to discuss this, Evan.
All right, moving on.
Next one,
We'll talk about the Falcons and the Bucks game.
dude.
This game.
As a
Don't even get me
This
started.
I do not want to spend 20 minutes on this game.
I don't either.
don't want to
I don't
spend 20
either.
minutes on this
I
game.
don't
I won't even get going. All I will say is best player on the entire team, not playing, not listed on the injury report.
They
No,
said he had an illness, but they didn't disclose it throughout
Yeah.
the practice, throughout like the entire. I think he ended up having like a migraine or something though. So
Yeah,
that's
so,
I mean, that's-
and
yeah,
and
that's a
you
little
don't
bit
even-
different.
but like no one yeah
Migraines aren't like a days long thing. They kind of come up
Yeah.
and just stick with you for like
yeah.
hours.
Hours.
well
Yeah.
I won't get on my tangent here, but I that is
We
all
all
I'll
know how
say,
you feel.
and you can take
we
that
need to
and-
make you like a shirt that has Arthur Smith on it and says like fire.
he is
Fire
the
Arthur.
worst
Hey,
head coach in the
thanks
NFL.
for the Christmas gift idea for Zach.
There you go. I got you.
Dude, I would immediately make that a cutoff. That would be a good gift.
What the heck?
I would wear it more as a cutoff.
Fair.
Well,
no, dude,
nonetheless,
that dude
the
needs
Falcons
to be-
didn't end up winning.
Hey,
Falcons
this
did.
is what I don't understand. They win. See, this is how talented their roster is. They win games in spite of their horrific coaching. I mean, this is like the worst coach in the NFL we're talking here, and they are still winning football games. If you get a compatible coach in there, they can be pretty good.
Okay.
Zach, where did Arthur Smith come from? What regime did he come from? What team did he
I don't
come
know,
from?
probably like the junior high kids around the block.
You want to know why he runs the ball so much?
I don't complain about that. I just think
He was a coach for the Titans.
Yeah. He
Well,
came from their coaching tree.
He came from that coaching tree. So, like,
He's a terrible coach. I mean, I don't know. My complaint is not that it's not that he runs the ball too much. I like running the ball. I just think that he ought to use his best weapons more than he does. You know, like the one, best player on the team didn't even tell anybody he wasn't playing. He doesn't use Kyle Pitts or Drake London at all, and they
Drake
use
London
like
had 6
top
catches.
Yeah, Drake London had 6 catches.
Drake
Okay,
London was
first
targeted
time ever.
7 of 25 times, Zach.
first time ever.
Dude,
They
he's
use,
done-
they use top 10 picks on these guys and just don't even use them. Like Arthur Smith needs to go.
Look
But
at last week.
I'm done. You guys talk now.
If you look at even last week, Kyle Pitts was he
That's
had
his
like
best game.
He got a touchdown last week.
he had a
So once the
touchdown.
Blue Moon
First
type
time
thing.
this is in his third year.
He had a touchdown with like Drake London had 12 targets last week, and Kyle Pitts is getting 6 or 7 the past 3
They
weeks.
definitely use Drake London. Kyle Pitts is like, it kind of depends week to week. But
But this is
Yeah,
a new
but-
thing. They don't use Kyle Pitts. Drake London, they didn't use last year, and they just started.
yes, they did. He had like 800 yards receiving as a rookie. That's good.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's terrible.
Okay. Sounds good. But back to the point. It was a gritty. I mean, obviously we noticed that it was a defensive game. Falcons defense is like it has its ups and downs, definitely. But when it comes time that they need it, it seems like their defense is making some plays. And honestly, even though it wasn't that great of a game for Baker Mayfield, I've been actually surprised with how well Baker has played this year. Those are kind of my takeaways, so to say. Hey, I was upset about Bijan too. I mean, I'm a pretty big Bijan fan. Love Bijan, but I think they definitely
What
could
are
have
you gonna
handled
do
it.
in that scenario, though?
Huh?
I said, if he had a migraine, what can you do?
Exactly.
Like there's not much you can do if he actually had a migraine. If he had like the stomach flu or something and they didn't report it, that's one thing. But
if it's a migraine, like you
Yeah,
said, you
those
can't control
I've
that.
had them. I've had them before. Migraines come on like that. They stick with you for like 4 or 5 hours. They're the worst.
Exactly. So like, I get why people are upset about it. Don't get me wrong, but like if it's like you said, if it's a migraine, those things are gonna pop up, and honestly, you're not gonna even want to be at the stadium.
No, you're gonna be wanting in a dark room with the lights off, dude. Like,
Exactly.
you do not want to see any light at all.
Exactly.
Migraines are awful.
So I mean, it was a good win for the Falcons, in my opinion.
The Falcons should have won by more than 3. They
They
fumbled the ball twice in the red zone in the second half. They should have won by like a touchdown or 2, but wins are wins, I guess. The Falcons still aren't good. The entire division's bad. Like,
Hey, my pick of the Falcons winning the division ain't looking too bad right now.
yeah, my pick on
This
the
is
Panthers
unbelievable.
winning the division is not. It's not.
That's
That's
bad.
bad.
I don't want
Yeah,
I think
when-
everybody but Joel had the Panthers.
What?
I think
It's
everybody
Falcons.
but you had the Panthers.
I didn't. You and Evan had the Saints.
Yeah, you
I
guys
was
had the,
I was the only one with the Panthers.
They're the
Really?
same.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys had the Saints.
Oh, okay, that's right. I
But
did.
to make up for the Falcons, Joel had the Bears and the
I did.
Broncos.
And the Broncos.
I also had the Broncos going, so can't be right all the time.
Yeah,
You can't win them all.
it happens.
Zach, you need to learn that lesson.
But you can try.
Obviously, you should try to win them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm gonna try.
I think my theory on this. I think Bijan might have had a migraine, but I think what happened was he was either like late to practice or did something, and Arthur Smith was pissed off at him and didn't play him because of that. That's my theory. I think that's what happened. And
That's
they're
a good
just
theory.
covering it up with a migraine.
If you saw him on, like, they kept
Well,
showing
that
him
makes
on-
Arthur Smith even more of a moron.
They were
You got
showing
to
him on
discipline your
Red Zone.
players if they're not.
Well,
Yeah.
then
Like-
at least be open with it and tell people he's not playing.
Why
Yeah,
why
for
let people?
fantasy managers' sakes.
Yeah, if you're looking at it from a fantasy manager perspective, that makes sense. But if you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint, why would you
They
let the
don't.
other
They
team
won't.
know?
Yeah, they won't have to game plan around Bijan if you let them know that he's
They'll-
not playing.
No,
Yeah,
that's
exactly. They'll be game plan. They game planned all week for Bijan, right?
Yeah,
Pretty obvious.
just for Algier.
Algier came out.
Yeah, like
I mean, Algier still gets a lot of carries even when Bijan's fully in.
yeah. I mean,
And then this game with a masterclass on game management by Desmond Ritter. Literally did nothing to lose them the game, but nothing to win them the game. He was just there.
Yeah,
except score the touchdown.
he was just
Yeah,
there.
he had a rushing touchdown. So I guess he did a little bit. But
You know
his
it's
throwing
pretty crazy?
were nothing to write home about.
You know, it's pretty crazy when the top rushing performer for the Falcons was Desmond Ritter because of the touchdown.
Yeah.
Young Hoku's that guy, though.
He is. Young Hoku is really good at making game-winning kicks.
He has a tendency to be put in those situations. So, what are you doing?
Why
There's
is
a
my
picture of
mic?
him.
What is happening?
That
is
is what I'm
happening?
doing.
The joys of
Oh my
being virtual.
god!
There we go.
Can we work now?
Well, hey, on
There
that
you go.
note, I'm going to take a quick timeout and take my plate into the kitchen.
All right, we're gonna transition to the next game then.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
All right. While Weaver gets back, we're going to talk about the Bears and the Raiders game.
God, dude, this was so bad.
The Bears won 30-12, and
Hey.
the Raiders just absolutely suck.
Dude, that game, I don't even really think we need to spend so much time on this. The only thing I really
No,
want
I
to bring
think.
up. Go ahead, Evan.
Oh, I think we were going to say the same thing.
My thing was the targets for Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams in this game.
12 and
Jacoby
13.
Myers had 13 targets,
Yeah.
and Devontae Adams had 12. The next highest was 3.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
they do not run Josh Jacobs enough.
they don't.
I mean, I understand their offensive line is god awful.
All right,
11 carries.
Jacobs needs to get the ball.
I'm back,
Yeah.
fellas. What game are we on?
Chicago
Raiders,
versus the Raiders.
Raiders.
Ah, yes.
My big
And Deontay
takeaway
Foreman
was
dropped a nuclear.
yeah, Deontay
Yeah, he
Foreman,
did.
3 touchdown game. I
Dude,
picked him up in fantasy like 20 minutes before the game started, so it was clutch.
yeah,
but
dude,
my
I'm telling-
biggest
like, oh, my bad. Go ahead, Evan.
my biggest takeaway was Tyson Bagent, Division II quarterback, first NFL start, gets the win. Played pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
21 for 29, 162 and a touchdown. Had 3 rushes for 24 yards. Played fairly well as being a D2 undrafted guy.
Yeah, that was
Um,
awesome. You always
that was
like
cool
to
to
see
see.
that, you know.
Yeah, it was cool to see.
That's a
Yeah.
good score. Nick?
But I think like for me, one of the thing, maybe not specifically this game, but I would just say like kind of throughout the whole year so far, I can't believe how much of an impact Jacoby Myers is actually having on the Raiders. Like it is unbelievable that the dude is getting the same, if not more, on most week targets than Devontae Adams is getting.
Yeah, then the top 3 receiver in the league. And don't talk to me about it. It's so
It is unreal. I don't know why. Like Jacoby Myers is a great receiver, but I don't really know why that's happened. Like Why he's getting more than Devontae Adams, I'm not sure.
So-
But that has been a big surprise for me, I guess you could say, just throughout the whole year.
That makes me think of something here. Does Devontae Adams get traded?
It very well could.
Absolutely.
He's voiced his frustrations lately.
Well, we always hype up guys that are like on the trade block in the NFL, but it never happens.
I don't think that he's going to get traded at the trade deadline, but he's absolutely not a Raider after this season.
I agree. He'll be gone after the season. But I'm talking more, by trade deadline. Do you think he gets?
I don't think he gets traded by the trade deadline.
And the Raiders are also a team that, like, I don't think Josh Jacobs is bad. So I feel like you got to just get him involved more too.
Yeah. I agree. Nick, you got anything?
I think it's concerning for Justin Fields that Tyson Bagent, D2 starter, came in and the offense immediately looked better than it has with Justin Fields under center, apart from the Washington game.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say, I think Justin Fields is gone.
That offense was objectively better in that game.
The Bears are drafting a quarterback, and Justin Fields will not be a Bear. That's my take right now.
And I don't think you can use the argument that he played a good defense because they played the Vikings the week before and they didn't do anything on offense.
The Vikings defense has been a lot better than a lot of people expected, though.
The Vikings defense has been better the past 2 weeks, but it's still not good.
We'll get to that game later.
Yeah, we'll get to the Vikings-Niners game in a little bit, but
I think he's still a Bear next year, personally. But
no chance.
I don't think they're going to.
Absolutely no chance. I think he's going to get another opportunity in the NFL somewhere.
Just not with the Bears.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a Chicago Bear next year.
They're going to have a top 3. They're going to have at least one top 3 pick.
Right now they have 2.
Yeah,
that's true.
The Panthers.
So they're probably going to go like Williams at 1, and then they'll take Marvin Harrison at 2 or 3 or something. Either way, they're taking a quarterback. I'd be shocked if they didn't take a quarterback. It's probably smart on their part too. I mean, I think Justin Fields has had plenty of opportunities now.
Guess we'll just have to wait and see.
We will. Anybody want a cookie?
Yeah,
I'll take one.
Yeah.
Venmo me your cookie, please.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have my second, and I'm fat.
Nice.
All right, Nick. I'm just gonna give you the floor on this one. Colts, Browns. I'll let you rant for however long you need. I'm gonna grab a water.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about the offenses. I'm not gonna talk about. Actually, no, that's not true. I'll start with this though. The refs in this game, unironically, need to be investigated for match fixing.
I think the NFL should investigate the refs.
It was those final 2 calls are so bad, like horrifically bad. And it's not like they set them up in positions to win the game. No, one of the calls was an illegal contact that Amari Cooper initiated that cost the Colts the game because they had a strip sack on that play that DeForest Buckner recovered. Not only did Amari Cooper initiate the contact with Darrell Baker, but also the ball was out of PJ Walker's hands. So it doesn't matter. Illegal contact does not apply in this scenario. And then the second one with the pass interference where he threw the ball into the stands and they called pass interference, and all the Browns fans were like, oh, he could have caught that. If he was 10 feet tall, he might have been able to get a hand on it. And the Browns scored the game-winning touchdown on 4th and goal from the 1-yard line by half a foot with Kareem Hunt. So that also ended up winning the game. I mean, this is the second week in a row the Browns have been the beneficiary of calls that should not have gone against them at all. Deshaun Watson got benched after being terrible in the first quarter. PJ Walker didn't play. Okay, but they said it was a shoulder injury, and he didn't land on his shoulder at all.
I thought it was more concussion.
I thought it was too, but they said he cleared concussion protocol. So
They
he
did
just
play
got
concussion.
benched.
Deshaun Watson is just literal dog crap.
Yeah, he's awful. PJ Walker did not play much better. Jerome Ford, outside of that one like 65-yard touchdown run, got bottled up all game.
He rolled his ankle though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true actually.
He's
Yeah,
out
that's
for
true.
2 weeks.
Yeah, he has a lower body injury. I forgot about that. But still, even until then, he was getting bottled up for the most part all game. Outside of the first like possession of the game, the Colts damn near doubled their yardage total, and against the number one defense in the NFL, and lost because the refs need the Browns to be good for some reason. I mean, I've never been more pissed at the result of a Colts game in my life. Like the game against the Jags a couple years back was upsetting when that knocked them out of the playoffs, but the Colts had no business winning that game at all. That was awful. So I wasn't too like actually angry about that.
Yeah, see, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
the
difference
issue-
between being angry at a game result and being upset at one.
Yeah, see, the issue with this game, you know, I was angry, and I'm not a Colts fan because, like, I've genuinely never seen the refs just literally hand the win to a
This
team.
was the worst officiating since the Rams Saints 5 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it honestly might be that bad. Like,
They-
it was really bad.
They single-handedly changed the outcome of this game, like bar none.
Like,
You're not wrong.
no, dude, it was bad. Like, I genuinely wholeheartedly believe that the NFL should investigate their reffing because
They
it
won't.
is
but-
bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm not a big like what's the word? Like, not scandal, but like conspiracy. I'm not
Yeah,
a big conspiracy theorist guy. Like, I'm not on the whole the NFL rigs their games type of hype train. I don't like this all the script. I don't get into that. I don't think the NFL rigs their games, but after watching that game, like
There's outcomes that they would favor over other
yeah,
outcomes.
they favor outcomes, and it's not fair at all. Like because I, as like everybody knows that we're Bengals fans here, so we have been on the short end of the stick in a lot of these type of issues here, and it's really unfortunate to see the NFL prefers outcomes, and then these it's almost as if these refs had bet, they had some sort of stake in this game because it was bad. Like this was some of the worst officiating that I have ever seen.
Yeah. I'm not gonna trash on the Browns the entire time though. Myles Garrett is a one-man wrecking ball and should win Defensive Player of the Year.
I agree.
Like bar none. He single-handedly, like in terms of players, he single-handedly won the Browns the game. Outside of Myles Garrett, their defense didn't do anything, but Myles Garrett was responsible for 17 points. Without Myles Garrett, the Colts win by 2 touchdowns.
Well, without Myles Garrett and the refs.
Yeah. Yeah, but
well, you got to think if Myles Garrett isn't even in this game, those calls at the end, we wouldn't even be talking about these
we
calls.
wouldn't even talk about the calls at the end because the game would be over.
That's true.
And also, they were talking about on the broadcast, they were like, it's a really unfortunate thing for the Colts to get back to their win total of last season. I think it could end up being much deeper than that. I think the Colts could legitimately be in the wild card discussion come week 16 because their schedule is so easy. The Browns are arguably the hardest remaining team on their schedule. Their remaining schedule is Saints, Panthers, Patriots, Bucks, Titans, Bengals, Steelers, Falcons, Raiders, and Texans. I think that is absurdly easy. And if the Colts had won this game, they would have needed to win one less game to maybe get in the wild card chase. I don't think they're good on be in it without Anthony Richardson. But in terms of playoff seeding for wild card with Cleveland down the line, because I do think Cleveland could be a playoff team, this could have a lot more of an effect than people realize. And I don't think that's being talked about enough. What's going to need to happen for the Colts to maybe get there is Gardner Minshew not turning the ball over 4 times in a game.
That's
he turned it's his 8 turnovers in the past 2 games. Like that's
You can't have.
you can't have that. I don't care what happens. That is not good. I get he ran in for 2 touchdowns, but like
Fumbled
you
3
can't.
times.
Yeah, he had a pick, 3 fumbles. Like you can't have that at all.
Not at all. I agree. I mean, you've hit it basically right on the head.
Yeah. Jonathan
I
Taylor
really
had a
don't-
touchdown.
Huh?
Good.
Jonathan Taylor had a touchdown.
Him
Yeah.
and Zach Moss are still splitting
Yeah, they're
carries,
still
so
splitting
which is
because Zach Moss is good, dude.
He
He's
is
like
good.
really good. He's not
He
going to
is
be a Colt
good.
after this year because they just extended JT. But like,
But still, he's
Yeah.
gonna. I think he could find himself a spot somewhere.
yeah, he's
Absolutely.
really good.
Josh Downs is looking great. Also,
Oh yeah, Josh Downs is. If Puka and
Breakout
Jordan
player.
Addison weren't going off, Josh Downs would be getting a lot more credit.
But at the beginning of the season, Nick, I was talking with you about Josh Downs and how excited I was for him. Like to see him finally coming into shape. Like it's serious conversation that
It's
he could
exciting.
he's the wide receiver 1.
Yeah, I still think Pittman's the wide receiver 1, but Josh Downs
but
is
it's
a
here
phenomenal guy to
lately,
have in the
looking a
slot.
lot better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Pittman's been a little frustrated lately, I heard, with his usage.
he was frustrated in the game against the Browns. He only got targeted like 3 times, but he's had like good
Yeah,
games
he's-
this year. He's been
No,
targeted
for
a
sure.
bunch in that offense.
He started off pretty hot. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, they got some good. Alec Pierce has been doing all right as well. So they got some.
Cincinnati
guys.
shut out.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, no, Josh Downs breakout. That was a big game for him. Obviously, I really liked him coming into like the draft and everything.
Yeah.
I think he's going to continue what he's been doing these last 2 games.
All right.
All right, moving on. We got the Ravens and the Lions.
Dude.
The Ravens throttled the number 1, the best record in the NFC,
Man, oh man. Man, oh man.
38-6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I-
was brutal.
I thought this game was gonna be so good, but
I thought it was too.
Baltimore is
Legit.
they finally this vision that we had at the beginning of the season of what the Baltimore offense was going to look like, it happened against the
Yeah,
Lions.
the Ravens are hitting their ceiling right now. I think they are
Yeah.
absolutely in the bona fide contender role in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't think people are talking about it enough.
Well, and they're doing it with their defenses looked amazing too.
Yeah.
Like I've been impressed with the Ravens, and now Jahmyr Gibbs had a great game on the
Finally.
opposite side of the ball. Finally. You see what happens when you give the man a chance. I was happy to see that, but otherwise, there's nothing really to talk about other than the fact that Baltimore's offense is finally looking like we thought it would at the beginning of the season, and Lamar looked elite. He performed to the
Yeah.
level of Zach. He performed to the level of that MVP caliber, in my opinion.
Yeah. He definitely played like a franchise quarterback against the Lions. I'll tell you that much. Almost 400 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 incompletions. Like, insane.
You're all morons for that take. However, I will say that Lamar Jackson probably is the MVP right now.
You think- I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Maybe.
who's the front runner in the MVP
I would
right
say
now.
I'd
There's a
still
lot-
say
I
Patrick
think-
Mahomes, or I would say Patrick Mahomes is probably a front runner.
Yeah, there's still a lot of football to be played.
I'm just saying front runner right now at the time being. I think Lamar might be. I mean, I think
He's
he
up
might be
there.
ahead of
He's top
Mahomes.
3.
I mean,
would say.
Mahomes is just doing Mahomes like things. I mean, it's
Yeah, but Mahomes'
We're used to it,
Mahomes bar is the highest of any quarterback of all time. In terms
what, you
of
think
their
they're just
worst
going to give him
game.
this? You think they're going to give him the MVP every dang year?
Yes, if he plays like it.
It's like Shohei. dude.
Yeah.
If not Lamar, if Patrick Mahomes won the MVP every year, I would stop watching football, or at least.
Who's gonna top him? He has 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns.
I just told you. I think Lamar Jackson right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate that take. at all. I think Mahomes has been able to translate it more throughout the season. Lamar started off
Lamar's
very
kinda hot
shaky.
and
He's been hot and cold.
Yeah.
He's been putting together stretches now. These past 3 games, if I'm thinking right, he's put together a great 3-game stretch. It's just a matter of him staying consistent with it.
Yeah.
I think that this says more about the Ravens than it does about the Lions, because I'm still a big believer in the Lions this year and what Dan Campbell's doing. I just think they had an off day, but I mean, this game wasn't close from the first possession. Like, it was a massacre.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked.
Yeah, and I think the Ravens can go toe-to-toe with any team in the NFL right now. They are terrifying, and every other team in the AFC North should be very concerned with
All right, Nick.
playing them.
I bet you they're stealing
No,
signs.
they-
That's why they're looking so good right now.
Yeah, they're stealing signs. Yeah, that's
They know
why
that
they're
his
looking so
brother's
good.
playbook.
That whole thing is wild. But
He should be
This
this
banned.
is
from
off topic. But speaking of Shohei, Nick, your next quarterback for the
next
Indianapolis
quarterback,
Colts.
Shohei, is going to sign with the
Shohei
Colts.
Ohtani.
That would shake things up, let me tell you.
That would shake things
That
up.
is the most beautiful thing I've seen.
I think I might
I know.
somewhat root for the Colts if that happened.
But my quick 2 cents on the game, you guys pretty much hit a lot of it. I think the Ravens are, without a doubt, the best team in the AFC North. I think the way it's looking now, I think they'll probably win the division. Lamar Jackson is playing at an MVP level. I mean, 6 incompletions the entire game against one of the better teams in the NFC. Yeah, I think the Lions just one of those games where they didn't play. They just didn't show up. And
They didn't get off the bus.
I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown did what he usually does. I mean, Zay Flowers has been up there with guys like Jordan Addison and Puka Nacua as some of the best rookie wide receivers this year.
I was going to say, this
So yeah,
class of wide receivers has looked amazing.
that's looked really good.
There
So-
really hasn't been a blemish, in my opinion, that I can think of. Maybe Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, I was about to say
Quentin
he hasn't
Johnson,
done
yeah.
anything.
But
He
other
really
than
hasn't
that,
got any opportunities, though, either.
Yeah, they don't give him the ball.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, this wide receiver class has been really good. We'll dive deep more into that when we get to the Vikings game later.
Yes.
All right, this next game we're talking about. This one was a shocker. We got the Patriots beating the Bills 29-25
Oh, I
the
ate
game-winning
my
touchdown.
words.
by Mike Gesicki.
Dude, can I just tell you, I'm just going to say this and leave this here. This just goes to show you how unpredictable the NFL can be at times, too.
I love it, dude. This is why I love
Because
the NFL.
literally 1 week, you can have the Patriots get blown out by 30. And then they come out the next week and beat Buffalo.
It's unbelievable, dude.
Mac Jones looked good.
Mac
this
Jones
game.
pulled the best game of his career out of his back
He
pocket.
looked good in this.
He looked
Zach,
phenomenal
Let
in
me
this
finish
game.
my statement. He looked good in this game. He hasn't looked great all year. He looked good in this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Zach-
let's not get
Zach
too
had to
far
make
ahead of
Zach had to
ourselves.
make sure there's no Mac Jones praise going on. It doesn't fly.
Yeah,
That doesn't
no,
fly
like,
here.
Let's just make sure we aren't getting too far ahead of ourselves here because they beat the Bills, who are at best
so-
a shaky team right now.
So can I make this statement? Jordan
Uh-huh,
Love hasn't been that great either.
He's
No,
been
I
awful.
mean
Jordan Love's
That's
been
just-
terrible the past
that's
month.
just okay. The dude got
I'm
off
just
to a
gonna
fast
throw it
start,
out.
and now he's been bad.
I'm gonna
Okay,
throw it
whatever.
out there.
Fine. I'm still taking him over Mac Jones.
Yeah,
I think this season Mac Jones has been maybe the 29th, 30th range. Mac Jones has been horrible.
did we have him ranked at like 28 going into the year, Zach?
You guys didn't. I did.
I had
and
him at
was
like
right.
21.
No, I don't think I can't remember.
I'm just gonna. I mean, he catches a lot of hate, obviously, Zach.
Yes, he's bad.
But I'm just saying, like, come on,
Give a man his props. He played
give him
really well.
give him his props, man.
I will say that the Patriots organization team played a good game against the Bills, who are at best a shaky team at the current moment.
Yeah, I do think we need to talk about that. The Bills are very inconsistent.
Josh Allen is very turnover prone this year. I said this to somebody a while ago.
You said it to
and
me,
they were
and
like,
it's just
dude, you're
not
stupid.
true.
And I was like, what are you talking about? The dude has like 10 turnovers this year, and we played.
He doesn't have. He has like 4.
Didn't he throw like 2 picks this game?
I'm gonna look up his.
He threw like 1 or 2 this week, didn't he?
He threw 1.
He has 15 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Yeah, but 3.
Nick.
He has some fumbles.
He
in there.
had.
Yeah, there's
He has
fumbles,
one.
too.
He has 1 fumble. He has 1 lost fumble.
So he has 8 turnovers.
Yeah, but 4 of them came in the first game of the season.
15 touchdowns and 8 turnovers in a span of what, 6
Yeah,
games?
Yeah. Take away Jets.
Take
game,
away
he
the
has
first
14
game of the year, he's
touchdowns,
only
4
had-
turnovers.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're not just going to discount the first game of the year.
If
Like, the
you
man still
took away
has
the first
half
game of that season, Josh Allen's the MVP frontrunner right now because he has 14 touchdowns, 4 turnovers. He has a better stat
Okay,
line. than
well,
everyone
that
else.
first game was a game that counted. So the man has split his touchdown and turnover ratio. And actually, it leans a little bit more towards the turnovers. I'm not hating on Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a great quarterback. I'm just saying he's been turnover prone, and the Bills are shaky right now.
The Bills as a team
They are.
are very inconsistent,
They are.
but I don't
Yeah,
think Josh Allen's the reason.
So I'm not saying he's the reason. I'm just saying that he has turned the ball over quite a few times this year so far, and that should be something that we might want to talk or not talk about. But he should be more careful with the football.
This has been a thing that they've said for a while, though. Too. He needs to be more careful with football.
That's true. I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean, I think maybe the
Did
Patriots
the other guy catch it, or is it going to be
played
incomplete?
the best. I think Mac Jones played the best game that he's ever played in his entire life, and the Bills were not playing well today. So that's kind of what happened, I think.
Did you guys see what Stephon Diggs said on Twitter the other day?
Yeah, he said he felt bad for not helping people hit their parlays or win their fantasy matches.
Hit their parlays and win their fantasy matchups. I was laughing so hard at that. But
He's like, low key, man, I feel bad about that.
Had
honestly,
to let Mac Jones get one.
honestly, I could talk more on Mac Jones. How everybody said that was the best case scenario for him to go into when he got drafted, but it honestly hasn't. That's my 2 cents on Mac
It would have been a
Jones.
lot better if he would have went to like the Niners.
I mean, I don't think he'd start on 30 NFL teams.
Trying to think.
No one even said a word to that.
I don't actually hate that.
I'm
Apart
trying
from
to-
this game,
I'm
he
trying
has
to-
not
Dude,
played
I
well at all.
I thought you guys were gonna flame me for that.
Yeah, I don't think that's that terrible at all.
Well, I mean,
He
he's
is
not-
He starts over
I
Josh
agree with
Dobbs.
that.
He starts over Josh
Yeah.
Dobbs.
He starts over Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter. He's
Yeah,
starting
probably.
obviously in New England, so there's 3 teams right there.
Well, he doesn't start on 29 teams.
I'm just thinking. Give me a sec.
Maybe Tennessee. Maybe.
I would say I'd say he starts in Tennessee.
Yeah,
I'm
so
iffy
there's-
about that,
there's
man. I don't
4.
know.
What? How are you iffy about that?
Nah,
Ryan
he would
Tannehill
start
has
over
been-
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill's
I think-
booty.
I think it depends on the day, man. Like what type of? I mean, if you, I don't know.
I think he would definitely start for the Jets right now over Zach
Oh
Wilson.
yeah, that's
I don't know, man. If you're seeing, I don't know. I've seen like the Barstool ratings, and I don't know if you're feeling
Yeah,
a little bit frisky. then
Barstool
you
is
can-
the end all be all when it comes to sports talk.
No. I'm just saying like they do their rating, and it's like frisky and fun or whatever. If you're feeling frisky and fun, then you might take Zach Wilson and Ryan Tannehill. It depends on the day. I think Mac Jones is horrible. I think they're all. I think all 3 of those guys are terrible football players.
frisky and fun, huh? Zach?
If I'm feeling frisky and fun, I'm taking Zach Wilson because Mac Jones is just like, I mean, that dude is just a flaming piece
It's
of
a
crap.
wild statement out of context. That's gonna get clipped. Ryan, quick words
Goes
on
that
the Patriots. Are they back, or are you still tanking?
The Patriots are not even close to back.
He didn't ask you.
Oh, I thought you'd ask all of us.
No.
I can see next week.
Next week.
If you let us win next week, we're back.
Don't let us get one more.
Don't let us get
Who are
one
they
more.
playing
Win
next
we're
week?
back.
They play the Dolphins next week.
Oh, they're getting destroyed. Because isn't that game in Miami?
Yeah, it's in Miami.
Yeah, they're going to lose by 80. It's not going to be close.
Yeah,
But
it was
if
funny
they-
because Ryan was like happy about it, and his brother was so mad because he wants them to lose as many games as possible, so they can
They
get
need a quarterback.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that's real.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But hey, Bill Belichick's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Got his 300th win.
There you go.
Yeah, he did get his 300th win. He also signed an extension under the table, which was fun.
Yeah. I think it's deserved. I question him being the GM. That's
yeah, he
my.
needs to go as GM.
I don't like. He
Not
is.
as coach.
He's a great coach. Like I'm not getting rid of him as a coach, but GM wise is where I question it because their offense has like I'm not really any talent at all.
Yeah, their offense is not good, apart from like Ramondre. But even then,
Yeah, like Ramondre
He's been
is
bad this
like
year.
okay this year. You know,
Mhm.
He's been bad this year.
like
Shout
the
out to Mario
Patriots,
Duggan. He's been
Very
balling last couple of games.
but
Yeah. All right.
that's kidding.
Speaking of another mid-tier quarterback, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Rams 24-17.
Man,
How did that happen?
the
How are the
Steelers,
Steelers winning games?
their offense actually kind of looked like
yeah,
an
this
NFL
was the best their
offense
offense had looked all year.
I
Yeah.
absolutely.
don't understand how how the Steelers win games.
Their
You wanna know a
defense, their
crazy stat?
defense makes plays and it sets up their offense, and their offense actually puts something together.
Like it is.
Do you want to know a crazy stat about their offense?
Go for it. They haven't put up.
They're 4-2 without having 350 yards or more of offense in a game yet.
I
I
can't
think-
stand those.
I read
guys.
something the other day. They haven't had a game where they put up over 400 yards since like 2021.
Yeah,
And
for
guess
2020.
what? They're gonna make the playoffs.
they very well could.
I mean, that is just absurd.
I still think the Steelers are the worst team in the AFC North, but the AFC North is the best division in the NFL. So
It's
like,
easily the best.
Steelers are by far the worst team in the AFC North. They are not a good football team.
they get it.
They
They
gotta-
find ways. I don't understand.
I
it.
think they got one of the
It's
best coaches
so
in the. It's
dumb.
obvious they have one of the best coaches in
Yeah.
the league that sets them up every year.
Mike
they-
Tomlin is a fantastic.
There is no
coach.
reason that they should win football games, but
Steelers
they
fans would
figure
say
out a way to do
otherwise.
it, and it is ridiculous.
Their
This
defense.
is just. I'm gonna just say this right here. This is just a pissed off Bengals fan right now.
Am I wrong though?
No, the Steelers are not very good, but they are not bad.
They keep
They're
finding ways
definitely
to
good.
win.
Yeah.
They aren't bad, but there's no reason they should be 4-2 right now.
Well, the thing is, it's going to be like every other season. They'll win a couple games they shouldn't win. Play a team in the playoffs is a lot better than them and get destroyed. Like
But
that's
they-
what's going to happen.
They're gonna make the playoffs over the Bengals, and this is ridiculous.
I don't know about that. You still play them twice.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of football left to be played.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Puka Nakua had a game. He
Yeah.
looked like a dog out there.
What was up with Cooper Cup not getting much though?
I think that's
Yep,
going to be
7
what we see for
targets.
the rest of the year. I
Really?
think it's.
7 targets, but only 2 catches.
I think that's something we see for the rest of the year, though, with that offense.
Only
I
like
think you're going to
7
have
targets?
days. I think you're going to have days where Puka has a great game, and Cooper Cup sucks, and then vice versa. I think that's going to be something we see for the rest of the year.
It's fair.
Oh, also, we need to talk the refs and the spot in the fourth
yes.
quarter was also really bad.
Yes.
But it was
Another
more,
bad ref.
it was more so unlucky for the Rams because they had no timeouts than it was like the
Because they
refs.
couldn't challenge it.
Yeah, they couldn't challenge it. It was before 2 minutes. The Steelers could just knee it out.
Yeah.
But Kenny Pickett did not pick up that first down on that QB sneak.
Not
That
all.
spot was terrible. but the Rams couldn't challenge it. So it was more just unlucky than anything.
The NFL has to fix the reffing. Like something has to be done now.
Yeah, there's no reason in a multi-billion-dollar company the ref should be this bad, but
Like something has to be done
I don't
immediately.
know what to do.
Immediately.
Joel, your guy Deontay Johnson had a good game first game
Dude,
back from IR.
he came back and commanded such a he's commanding a target share. I forget the percentage off my head, but it's kind of what I was expecting from him at the beginning of the season. Command a decent target share, and George Pickens is looking great. George Pickens is
George Pickens.
good.
I will say that about the Steelers. George Pickens does look like a baller.
He does. I was expecting, him to get tossed out of the league here because of his attitude, but no, he's looked very good. I've been impressed. And Deontay, like you said, I love Deontay. I think that just adds an element to their offense that really they were missing when he was out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's your possession guy.
Yeah.
Get you a first down.
Because outside of him and Pickett, Pickens, they really have nothing on that offense.
No, they haven't. They have a washed-up Allen Robinson.
And then Najee Harris, who just is not good for
Jalen
Who's getting outperformed
He got
by
a
Jalen
fire
Warren.
lit under him. Najee Harris got a fire lit under him.
as he should.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I don't think Najee Harris is good at all. I've been
And I
saying this
don't
for
know
like 2
why.
years.
I don't think he's
The Steelers' backfield is putrid.
Jalen Warren's
Jalen
okay.
Warren's not bad.
Kenny
Yeah.
Pickett
Jalen
and
Warren.
Najee Harris are bad. Jalen Warren's solid, but those two are bad. And then they got two good receivers. That's it.
And
And
Briar move.
And a
it is
good
great
defense.
Yeah. Well, no, their defense
phenomenal
is great. I
defense.
just don't- Like every time I watch the Steelers, it's just like this should not be a team that is winning.
That's how I react. Every single time I watch a Steelers game, I'm like, how is this team finding ways to win?
It
terrible
pains me to
know,
watch Steelers games.
ridiculous.
It's so hard to watch their offense.
It's so
but
hard to watch them.
I love
Like-
watching their defense. I love watching TJ
Yeah.
Watt and Highsmith run wild.
It's just like these guys should not be winning games. Like I don't understand.
They're 4-2 and half a game back in the AFC North.
So dumb.
And they're by
Their
far the
offense
worst
is
team in the division.
unwatchable.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Screw that team, man.
Oh man, good win for them though. I mean, gritty
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. The Rams
Big
are
one,
actually a
fun.
decent football team. So,
Yeah.
They should have won.
I don't know about that. Matthew Stafford didn't play well.
Not his
Hey.
best game.
It was National Tight Ends Day, so
Steelers.
That's true. Also,
Steelers have the Jags this week.
Yeah.
that'll be that. We'll see if the Steelers are actually legit or not. If they beat the Jags, then they might be a
I
force
think
to be reckoned
I'm
with.
hoping we'll see the Jags just completely blow them out of the water here.
That's not going to happen. Trevor
not
Lawrence is
gonna
knee
happen.
injury.
Trevor Lawrence is injured.
Yeah,
He was
that's
injured
why.
going into this week.
Yeah, they.
Well, yeah, but he's still playing, right?
Yeah, it's not like serious, but he like sprained his knee
Yeah.
before.
He's not 100%.
Yeah.
But-
Also,
Well, he looked
I
pretty good against the Saints. Well, he
Yeah.
looked good enough.
It's the Saints.
I don't think we're going to talk about this Commanders Giants game. That game sucked. Both teams are bad.
We don't need to. They're
That's
both.
why I didn't put it on the list, Nick.
Yeah, that game is terrible.
the highlight of that game is Darren Waller's finally getting used.
Yeah,
Yeah, about time.
both
Yeah.
teams suck. They both need to draft quarterbacks. That's about it.
Dude, we need
And
to
the
talk
Reds
about
are
this
the-
stat. We need to talk about this stat. Sam Howell has been sacked 40 times in 7 games.
Oh yeah, he has been sacked. Yeah,
Holy
the
crap.
record for sacks in a season 76.
He's gonna that record of what was
It's
it?
gonna
70?
get shattered.
Yeah, it's gonna get shattered, no
Burrow?
doubt.
The Bears record?
That's worse than Burrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sam Howell is gonna be actually murdered back there.
That is like way worse than.
Didn't
Joe
Khalil
Burrow.
Mack have 6 sacks against them?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's so
Oh.
bad. It's
Yeah.
so bad.
So there's your little Washington Giants
Yeah.
game. Washington versus the New York Giants game.
Don't
I
worry,
didn't-
Tyler. I got you.
oh,
I
that
did not
is
know that
worse
the
than Joe
offensive line
Burrow.
was that bad.
That's a gritty win for the Giants right there. Good job. They're about to get clapped by the Jets this week.
Dude, five.
Yeah, shout out to Tyler here. The Giants brought one home.
They're terrible.
Next.
All right, I mentioned
Giants.
Khalil Mack a second ago. The Chargers lost to the Chiefs 31-17. And this is kind of how it's been the whole year. Is Justin Herbert. This wasn't his best game, but the theme has been Justin Herbert's been playing pretty well, and the guys around him haven't been doing much. But this one was not his best.
Their defense is so bad. So bad.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes did whatever he wanted to in the first half of that game.
When Travis Kelce has over 120 yards before halftime,
That is stupid.
and Zach, Patrick Mahomes threw for over 300 yards in the first half.
Yeah, that's
that's
what's true.
true.
The Chargers defense needs to be wiped off the face of the earth and restarted.
Rashee Rice is coming into form too, baby.
Yeah.
I love
All
to
right.
see that.
All
I
right.
love to see that.
But the Chiefs, they're losing receivers.
It
Yeah.
does not
Wow.
matter. They are 6-1.
Yeah.
Their defense, this
What
is
was
the best.
They don't even need receivers. Patrick Mahomes walked out there and won the Super Bowl with a practice squad.
This is the best defense I've seen the Chiefs have.
Without a doubt. Under the Patrick
Without
Mahomes
a
era,
doubt.
their defense this year is actually really good.
They took a big hit losing Nick Bolton
Yeah,
with
Nick
that
Bolton's going
wrist
to be out
injury.
for like 2 months, but still.
Yeah, but
They got
still,
back
like,
Frank
exactly,
Clark,
Nick.
didn't they?
Exactly. This is the best defense I have seen from the Chiefs in that stretch that they're having right now. This is the best defense they've had. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to single-handedly win games, and the rest of the NFL should be terrified
I agree.
at that revelation.
I agree with that 100%.
Because we know that he's good enough to single-handedly carry an offense, like, by himself. I mean, he's got Travis Kelce, but still. Like, he is that good. I will say this about the Chargers. I am getting to be less high on Justin Herbert. Through his first 2 years, it seemed like he was gonna be like borderline Hall of Fame level good, like transcendent talent. And I don't know what it is because his box scores still look good.
Hey, but Nick,
Like
guess what?
67%
Not all
completion
about
percentage,
Nick.
1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 picks. Like
Nick is just
he's played really
We need
well.
some
with
merch.
it.
now.
Yeah,
We need some merch.
There's
We really
something
do need some
missing.
We'll work on it.
We need it's not all about the
It's
stats.
all about the
Nick,
stats, Nick, and then
be
we need to
different
fire
and
Arthur Smith.
fire
Yeah.
Arthur Smith immediately. We really should make those, Evan. That'd be great.
Well, we tried to make some, but it wasn't
Well, but
working.
if we
absurdly expensive.
make some that like maybe don't have our logo and they just say the words, then we'd be able to probably.
You could put a small
we can
logo.
put our, we can put our name on the back.
We'll
and
talk
have
about
the
this
logo.
later. Let's get back to Nick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyways, but
Um,
yeah, Justin Herbert has great stats, but he loses a lot of football games.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. I still think like he very obviously has time to like get to that Hall of Fame level good, like I thought he could be through his first 2 years. But I think Brandon Staley needs to go. Like how you feel with Arthur Smith, I feel with Brandon Staley. I think Brandon Staley is not a good head coach.
I think Staley
have
needs to
now-
go. I think Staley needs to go more than Arthur Smith, personally.
I have now jumped on the Staley needs to go train because at first I was not on that train, but now I am. I don't think as much as Arthur Smith, but I do think that Brandon Staley probably should be fired.
Yeah.
But no, I was talking to I was watching this game with a couple of dudes, and one of the guys was saying, because like the announcers were talking about Justin Herbert or whatever, and like the dude looked at me and he was like, I don't really think Justin Herbert's that good. Like, I don't know. What do you think? And I was like, he is a really good talent, but he just doesn't win games. And that's what I'm saying. The dude just doesn't win.
Yeah,
And I
he
was
reminds
like,
me a lot of
he has
Detroit
good
Matty
talent.
Stafford.
He has great talent, but he doesn't do anything with it. Like they have nothing to show for his talent. Like, yeah, he's a talented quarterback, but that doesn't mean he's great because he's
he
talented.
doesn't get any help on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, it's not his fault, but
not
I do
I'm not
think
saying
there
it's
is-
all his fault, but at the end of the day, yeah, he's got a lot of talent, but talent alone does not make you a great quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, the Chargers have been very inconsistent, but I'm looking at their schedule right now. I think their toughest part of the schedule might be out of the. Actually, I don't know. I don't know because their next 6 games are Bears, Jets, Lions, Packers, Ravens, and Patriots.
So
There's some good games in there.
They're 2-4 right now. They need to go at worst 4-2.
yeah,
I don't think the Chargers are in a horrible spot. Like, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I don't think that they're like the worst team in the like. Justin Herbert is still a good quarterback.
He's still
It's
a top 5 quarterback in the league.
No,
Like
he's not. But
Yeah, he
it's
is.
just Justin Herbert is not in the top 5 right now. But it's just that like I think
Yeah, I
the
know.
organization and the coaching staff is what needs to be changed. And obviously defense needs help. But I don't know. Like I don't think that they're just an embarrassment to football right now. But Justin Herbert is not in my top 5 right now. I don't know. He's not in my top 5 right now. But once again, it's not
yeah, you're probably right.
once again, it's not all on him though. He's a great talent, but I'm just yet to see the Chargers actually do anything.
Nick's
They've
punching the air right now. The 1 year Joe Burrow is not at full strength, and he's
Justin Herbert
vulnerable.
is not.
Justin Herbert also is not.
I don't
good.
understand this narrative that I hate
just-
Joe Burrow.
I'm just-
That is not a narrative. That is the truth.
It's not the truth. Joe
You
Burrow
think
has
Justin
been
Herbert
not
is
good when he
like 10
played.
million miles better than Joe Burrow?
Okay, I'm not getting into this.
We're not
Yeah,
getting into that.
let's
I'm
not
not
get
getting
into
into
this.
One final thing I'm going to say is no active quarterback has more losses than Justin Herbert since he was drafted in 2020. 28
I did
losses.
see that stat.
Now, that's not all his fault, but yeah, he's been in some. Well, I feel like the narrative was he's great, but the talent around him isn't there. And now it's
I don't
starting to be
think
a
that's
little
ever
bit
been
of
true.
a little bit
That-
of both.
It's still the narrative, but at some point you have to take that next step, no matter how bad your supporting cast is around you.
That's a bad narrative. The dude has Eckler, Keenan Allen,
Mike Williams.
Michael Williams.
Mike Williams is
Josh
out at the end of
Palmer.
20
Yeah.
still.
I think Quentin Johnston is a good talent. Like he's
Josh
got
Palmer.
who's Gerald Everett. Like he does not by any means have bad weapons at all. Like I don't know why that was ever a narrative.
Yeah, it's just a shame he doesn't play defense
Yeah.
or calls the plays.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
is perfectly healthy all the time.
All right. Second to last game we're going to cover. We got the Philadelphia Eagles beating the Dolphins 31-17 on Sunday night.
This was a
Um,
very good game.
It was a good game. AJ Brown has been putting up historic numbers these last 4 or 5 weeks. 4 weeks.
And Tyreek Hill is just him.
Unreal.
Yeah, Tyreek.
Yeah.
is him.
Nick, your Tyreek Hill take is looking.
Yeah, that's aging like
Yeah,
fine
yeah,
wine. He
yeah.
had 11
Yeah.
catches for 88 yards in the touchdown, and he said he needs to play better.
Well,
Yeah,
because
like-
he dropped a touchdown. Remember?
Like,
He
brother,
he is on. We're going to week 8, not even halfway done with the season, and he has 902 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And we're
I was
not
gonna
even
say he's
halfway.
almost to 1,000
Like-
yards.
I don't know if he's on pace to, but like he could get close to 2,000, which he said was one of his goals.
That's crazy. No,
He'll
this
easily
was a
he'll
great
pass
game.
Cooper.
This was a great game. I think if Tua doesn't throw an interception within 8 to 9 minutes, I think that this game comes down to like a 2-minute drive, like game-winning drive. You know,
I agree.
Jalen Hurts played a heck of a game.
He did, and this is the most. I mean, this is probably the most obvious statement I'm gonna say all day or all night with this podcast. The tush push is the most unstoppable Philly play in the league,
Literally can't stop it.
and no
They
other
could not
team
stop
can do it.
yeah,
No other team.
that's why it's gonna get banned after this year, but I don't think it should be because
I don't think
a
it should
lot
be
of other
either.
teams have tried it and they can't emulate
Yeah.
it at all.
I'm really
Well,
not
not-
sure why.
Because
I
the
know
Eagles
why.
have the best O line in the
It's
league,
because-
and Jalen Hurts can squat 600 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's very patient too.
Yeah.
And you also have AJ Brown pushing from behind too. He's no
And
small
Dallas
guy.
Goddard.
Yeah, so
Yeah, the Eagles are just absolutely wild. They are a heck of a football team. This was a great game. I think it was good that the Dolphins finally got tested too. The Dolphins played a very, very good football team. They didn't
You
just
can
have
also say you can
They
say that
failed
about
the test.
You can fail.
But it's
you can
good.
say that about the
Either
Eagles,
way, it's
too.
good for them in the long run, though. I don't think the Dolphins played poorly, and it's good for them to not just play the Broncos and put 70 points up. You got to play a good team here and there.
Well, you can say that same exact thing for the Eagles and proving that they're that team. Come back after a very terrible performance against the Jets and beat one of the hottest offenses in the league and hold them to 17 points. That's impressive.
Really, 10 points because 7 of them came off a pick six.
That is a good point.
Like the Dolphins' offense, especially in the second half, didn't do anything.
They did
apart from that one drive in the fourth quarter.
They were able to run the ball a little bit better in the second half than they did in the first half, though.
Yeah,
amen to that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dolphins have played 2 good teams so far this year, in the Bills and Eagles, and they've lost both times.
Yep.
But see, it's still good for them to actually play real competition, though. You know?
They're gonna get they should make the playoffs after their schedule. They play the Chiefs in Germany in 2 weeks.
That'll be another good game.
Yeah, that could be one of the games of the year again. But
yeah,
I feel like the Dolphins are probably going to make the playoffs, and it's
should.
good. It's good for them to play these good teams because even if they win or lose, they're still going to improve out of it. You're not just going to beat the Dolphins, or you're not going to beat the Broncos by 70 and just walk away and say, "Oh, we played terribly," but the Broncos are worse than a Division III college team. It doesn't matter.
Hey, they beat the Packers this week in one of the games of all time.
Yeah.
Now what's crazy is what was it, a day after the win, they got in trade for Kevin Byard,
dude.
All-pro
yeah,
safety.
that was crazy too.
Howie
got
Roseman
better.
cannot keep getting away with this.
I know that defense just got so much better.
Their defense is crazy. The
Their
Eagles
secondary is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna
Bradbury,
see Eagles?
Byard.
Do you think we're going to see the Eagles and the Chiefs again this year?
It's very possible.
It's possible.
I think if we see that again, I think the Eagles win it.
I agree.
It's way too early, but I'm just saying the Eagles are looking.
Zach's changing
Very
his way to pick.
Do they have
I'm
a
not changing
hole?
that.
Do they have a
I
hole
might
on
have to
defense?
Huh?
No,
Do they have a hole on defense?
They
No,
don't have a whole.
they don't. They don't have a hole on the whole team.
Because
team.
the linebacker was it TJ Edwards from last year?
Yeah.
I went to the Bears. He just instantly got filled in by
Yeah.
Nakobe Dean. You have both
Yeah.
starting corners back. Your secondary is unreal, and then you have the Georgia Eagles up front.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
Nolan
Fletcher
Smith got
Cox
his
and
first sack.
Hassan
And
Reddick.
then they have,
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick
the best
was up.
offensive line.
Hassan Reddick was
Yeah.
the biggest factor in that game on the defensive side of the ball.
And then on the offensive side, they got the best line in the NFL. They got a very good receiving duo, top 5 quarterback in the league, and a running back that is playing like a top
Good.
10 in the league.
Yeah. DeAndre Swift's playing good. Dallas
He's
Goedert's a
playing
good
really
tight
well.
end. Nick Sirianni's a fantastic head coach.
They don't have a weakness.
Howie
this team-
Roseman is arguably the best GM in the league right now.
I think this is the best team in the league right now.
I would say so.
I mean, honestly,
I think they have to be.
From
even
top
than the
to bottom.
Niners. I really think that they might even be better than
Well,
the Niners.
the Niners, we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. The Niners slipping a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch for them.
But yeah, no, the Eagles look scary. They look really
These
good.
guys are crazy. If it's the Eagle, if we see this playoffs a similar way, I'm pulling for the Eagles this time.
Didn't you pull for the Eagles last year too?
I was indifferent, but this time I'm
He
going
was
to
rooting for the
Eagles.
Chiefs, you know.
I was not rooting for the Chiefs.
He
know
does
he
own a Patrick
Chiefs.
Mahomes jersey.
Yeah.
I was.
You know he was rooting for the Chiefs.
He's a big fan of Jackson Mahomes.
Oh boy.
Let's not talk about him on this.
All right, let's move on to the last game of the week. We got the Vikings.
I'm
with a
sorry.
Big win against the 49ers, 22-17. 49ers dropped their second straight game in a row. And the Brock Purdy, I've been seeing Lynn Sanity vibes are coming that Brock Purdy's not as good as we talked him up to be, which we knew it was probably coming at some point. They were going to.
We just didn't want to believe it.
Yeah, but in all fairness, Trent Williams didn't play this game. Debo was out. McCaffrey on the torn oblique was still pretty good. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. What does he have? 16 touchdowns.
16 games straight.
16 straight games with a touchdown.
How this guy was not a
Unbelievable, dude.
top 2 pick in fantasy football blows my mind. But yeah,
Joel, we blew that one, brother.
Huh?
I said we blew that one,
Lucas,
man.
You blew
blew
that
it.
one. You blew that
You
one.
blew that one. I didn't.
Ah.
There's no way.
Yeah, we really can't trash on him. He is 7-0, and Jamar Chase has been good. Just not like,
I
As good
can't
as
really
McCaffrey.
control that Justin Jefferson gets hurt.
yeah.
The worst one is
Going
Lucas
into the
because
year-
Kelsey over McCaffrey.
Yeah,
Going-
that's what I was about ready to say.
That's the
the
bad
fact that
one.
Christian McCaffrey fell to 5 is
Yeah,
the issue.
that's the bad one. But going
Who
into
went
the
4?
no, he didn't.
Kelsey.
Kelsey went
Who
4.
went 3 then?
No, he did not.
No, who
He
went
said
3?
went
Yeah,
3.
who went 3?
Oh,
It was Jefferson,
Chase
Chase, and then
Eckler, right?
Eckler.
Didn't Zay take Eckler?
Oh yeah, I think
And
Zay
then,
took
and then
Eckler.
Lucas took Kelsey.
Travis Kelsey.
And then
And
McCaffrey
Chase
fell to
and
Chase at 5.
McCaffrey fell right into Chase's lap.
That's unbelievable. But
And now
okay,
Lucas is starting for running backs.
but for me and Joel going into the drafts, like at that point in the time, neither of us made bad picks at all.
No.
And both of our players have still been good, except for Jefferson's on IR. But like Chase has still been good. He just isn't what I drafted him to be right now.
This was a big game
That
for
could change.
the Vikings because if
It
they
was.
lost this game, they very well could have just sat Jefferson out for the rest of the year and just tanked it.
Dude, the Vikings played really like they look good, dude.
Kirk Cousins finally got a primetime win.
Yeah,
Yes,
Kirk
sir.
Cousins legacy game.
Like,
Legacy
it's-
game. for
Jordan
Kirk Cousins.
Addison, though. The dude
Jordan
is
Addison,
unbelievable.
breakout. Jordan Addison breakout game.
You realize that there is only one player in the NFL that has more receiving touchdowns than Jordan Addison right now,
And it's Tyreek Hill.
and it's Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill has
Jordan-
8. Addison has 6.
No,
Chargers
Tyreek Hill
fumbled
has
the bag.
7, and Addison has 6.
that's
I
what
thought he
it
had
is,
8.
man. Oh.
The stat
But
that
yeah,
I just saw
Tyreek has-
yesterday
Tyreek
said
Hill has
Hill
7.
had 7,
Oh, he has 7? Okay, I
and
misread.
then Addison has 6. Addison is
This is looking
unbelievable.
deja vu for the Vikings when Jalen Rager got picked 1 pick above Justin Jefferson and they picked Quentin Johnson 1 pick over Jordan Addison.
Dude, for the Vikings just know what they're doing with wideouts,
Yeah,
dude.
they got
We got Randy
in the
Moss, we got
past.
Justin Jefferson, and now we got Jordan Addison. And 2 of those guys are on
And
the
they had
same team.
Stephon
And
Diggs and Adam
Stephon
Thielen.
Diggs.
And they had Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
Yeah, and Adam
Adam
Thielen has
Thielen.
been going ballistic this year.
No, dude, the Vikings know what they're doing with wide receivers, dude. And Jordan Addison is unbelievable
line.
right now. He's been playing great football.
Yeah.
And it's still TJ Hawkinson too, who had a good game, 11 catches, 86 yards.
Yeah, we completely ignore TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah.
But as we talked about with the whole Purdy thing,
Yeah, that's what I want to
these past 2 games, what have you noticed the most with him?
What have
I'm
you
at-
noticed the most?
huh?
What
have
have
I
you noticed the most?
I wanted to see what you guys had to say. What I've noticed the most, in the games prior to these past 2, he has acted more as a game manager.
Yeah, that's fair.
You
He's
get what I
having to
mean?
make throws down the field. He's got to read defenses a lot quicker than he usually would
Exactly.
because of the injuries to their offense.
Exactly.
He had
And
some bad picks yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
it's just to a point where I think this is the year that if the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl, it's
This
this
is
year.
it. Yeah.
It has to be this year.
Mhm.
Trent
I mean,
Williams is
they
35
have an
years
unreal
old.
team.
Trent Williams is 35 years old. Kittle's
Yep.
on the wrong side of 30.
Yep.
And Debo in the past 4 years hasn't had he's only had 1 healthy season, fully healthy season.
Yep. So this is it's kind of like, I mean, this is it. This is your shot.
Yeah. I think this is their shot if they're going to do it. And I mean, their payroll is just so unreal too, with all the big names that they have to pay.
Yeah.
But like you guys said, Vikings, they needed that game big. Their defense these past couple weeks have looked amazing. A lot better than what they were looking at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, props to them. I was not expecting that whatsoever.
Yeah, it was
And-
Either. I did not think this was going to be a good game at all, and it actually was a good game.
uncharacteristically sloppy game
Yeah.
from the Niners as a whole. They missed a couple field goals, turned the ball over a couple times.
The
Tarvarius
Niners
Ward
got a
got the
rough
ball
stretch,
literally
too.
torn from him.
Yeah,
They got a rough stretch too, though, because they lost to the
Browns.
They lost to They lost to the Browns in a tough game. They lost to the Vikings in a tough game, and now this Sunday they got the Bengals, and
I'm gonna tell
it'll be
you
a tough
this.
game too.
I'm gonna tell you this. The Bengals should have wished for the Niners to win that game because they
Yeah,
are gonna
probably.
have been pissed off.
Yeah, two games on the road, 2 L's. Everyone's kind of
still-
questioning their ability. Like,
Yeah,
They're
that's
gonna-
one in Santa Clara.
it's still going to be a tough game for them, though.
We'll see.
Mhm.
The
I don't
Bengals
expect
are
the
not a
Bengals
bad
to win
team
that
by any
game.
means.
I'm not sure how this one's gonna go, but
I don't expect them to win.
Which team are you talking about?
Niners.
The Bengals.
Are you guys think it's going to be a blowout?
We'll talk about it when we
We'll
get to
talk
it.
about
Game
it.
predictions.
Any other things you guys would like to touch on with this game?
Nah, that's about it. The Packers and Broncos, I don't think the Packers aren't good. The Broncos we know are bad. The Seahawks took a while to put the Cardinals out of their misery, but the Seahawks are still a good football team.
Yep. Jackson Smith and Jigba guy's first touchdown.
Yeah, JSN Diggy's
Yeah.
first touchdown. I saw that. Jake Bobo had
Jake
one of
Bobo
catches
had the
of
best
season.
catch of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an insane catch.
Geno Smith is still playing well, still throwing dimes,
Surprisingly.
and the Cardinals are bad, like we said they would be.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
All right. Now that's gonna wrap up that segment. Now we're gonna transition here into our week 8 headlines. Each of us are gonna give something we're looking forward to this week, something we're keeping our eye on. So yeah, who wants to start us off? Who's got?
I'll start. I'm gonna go away from the Colts for a second. Although I do think the loser of the Saints Colts game season is probably over. In the grand scheme of things, because both of them are sitting at 3-4. I touched on it earlier. I'm looking at this Jags Steelers game to see if the Steelers are for real, because if they win this game against the Jags, they're going to be 5-2, like squarely in the thick of the AFC playoff race, and contending for the division. Like we said, we don't know how they're winning games, but the fact of the matter is they keep winning games. And they're a nuisance for every single team. I'm going to be interested to see if their O-line can keep up against a lackluster Jags pass rush, and if their defense can get home to Trevor Lawrence. I think it's going to be a very close game, and that's my takeaway going into this week.
I like that.
Well, I just touched on it like 2 seconds ago, but I really am interested to see what the 49ers do this week with the Bengals. I think this is a huge game for both teams, and I don't by any means think it's going to be a blowout on either side of the ball. It's going to be a tough game for both of them, I think. So it's a must win for both teams. So
I'd say,
Bengals.
yeah. Evan, you want to go? Or you want me to go?
You got it.
I would say my biggest one this week is Cleveland. For one, what's going to happen with Deshaun? I think they need to sit him personally. And going on the road to Seattle, can the defense carry them to another victory? I think it's possible. And it ultimately leads that I feel like this is a pivotal game for them in their playoff hunt.
Yeah.
You got to take these games big time. I wanted to talk about San Francisco, but Zach, you touched on it. So this was my second one. But I'm interested in this game big time.
Winner of this game will be 5-2 as well.
Yeah. It's a huge, this game's huge.
This
for
might
both teams.
separate the tiers in terms of like which team could be a dark horse in their conference and which team is going to be like first round exit probably.
Yeah. I would agree with that. But I think they need to go out and address something because PJ Walker is terrible.
They can't get rid of Deshaun Watson. They gave him $230 million.
I understand, but
He's bad.
go
He's terrible.
talk to Washington about Jacoby Brissett again or something, please.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody's better than the two they got in there now.
But yeah,
Maybe
Yeah,
not.
any hopes of Deshaun going back to Texans form are out the window.
yeah. But
He's
yeah,
a bad
that's
quarterback.
that's my main takeaway. The other idea I had was, can Mac Jones bring about
Continue his stretch.
can he give me a little bit? Can you give me a little bit of what
Can
I'm
he save his career?
I will give you a sneak peek, and the answer is no. He cannot.
and this I hope, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I hope by this time
I hope he
next
throws
week,
for like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in an upset
And they
win
win.
against the Dolphins.
I hope they win.
That'd be
I
so
don't think
funny.
it's gonna happen by any means, but I hope they win just so I can rub it in your face. Evan, what about you?
I'm looking at this Vikings Packers game. I think it's a big one for the Vikings in particular. Big coming off a big win, obviously we just touched on. But I think the way that the season's been looking, if they keep piling, if they lose this game, they're probably sitting at
3 and
they're going to
5.
be sitting, they're going to be sitting at third in their division. And I think for them, I think if they don't turn it around and start winning games, I think if I'm the Vikings, I'm leaning more towards blowing it up. I think you trade away Daniil Hunter. I think you see where Kirk is because he's a free agent this summer, so he very well could move on. I think you kind of just rehaul some of those pieces. Like I think you get rid of guys like I mentioned, Daniil Hunter, like Harrison Smith, some of those guys. Like just try to revamp that team, get a top pick, draft a quarterback. If Kirk isn't there, and go on from there. But if they do end up winning this game, I think they'd be 4-4, so they'd be 500. So I think they could still salvage solid season. So
They
then I wouldn't
definitely
be getting a
can.
fan
With
club.
how bad the NFC is, if they go 9-8, they probably make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if they lose this game against obviously a division rival, I think that hurts them. And obviously Jordan Love, like you mentioned, didn't play too great last game. So, and obviously the Packers have had their questions with a lot of their weapons not producing the way we thought they would. So I'm interested to see if the Vikings can keep the momentum going after a big win this Monday. So,
I'd like to touch base on one thing. And my thing is can the Dallas offense finally score in the red zone? Because they are one of the worst red zone offenses in the league right now.
yeah, them and the Steelers.
Yeah. So that's my
Yeah,
thing.
I think the Steelers score a touchdown 30 something percent of the time, and then like
In the red zone.
the Cowboys are like 36 or something like that.
That's so bad.
Not good. Not good.
Also, Texans Panthers this week, number 1 versus number 2 overall pick.
Number 2.
And
yeah.
Texans
There
will be
you
winning
go.
that.
We'll see. But
We'll see.
CJ Stroud, brother.
This
Maybe
could be the
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young game, baby.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. CJ Stroud's definitely been looking like the better pick so far, but
Absolutely.
still early. All right, shall we do? It's time for some predictions, I think.
Oh,
Predictions.
yeah.
Week 8 predictions, almost halfway done with the season. we got some good games this week, but we're going to start off with the Thursday night game, Bucks Bills. Who y'all got?
I'm gonna take the Bills in this one, but hoping for a good game out of Mike Evans.
I'll take the Bills too. They're at home. They're better than the Bucks.
Good observation, Nick.
I don't know what else you want me to say.
Evan, what do you got?
I'm going to go Bills as well. I think being at home, and then obviously coming off of a surprise loss, I think they're going to be ready to get back on track against the Bucks team who struggled offensively, but defensively it's not too bad.
If this was in Tampa, I was leaning Bucks, but I'm gonna go Bills. If this would have been in Tampa, I probably would have gone Bucks. I would have been different.
All right. None of us were different last time.
Oh,
I
it
can't
was
think-
so bad. It was
Oh,
so
I know.
we all
bad.
had the
No,
exact
Me
same
and you
thing.
had the exact same pick.
We had every pick
I
the
was
same.
the only person that picked different games to like.
I think
Spice
you
up
picked,
a little bit.
no, but I think Nick, you only picked one game differently.
Yeah.
No,
you
I
did.
picked the Cardinals to beat the Bengals because that was funny.
You moron.
That's
You
hilarious.
Moron.
And
Yo,
that
Yeah.
Joe,
that
I
did
told-
not happen.
Joe, I told after me and you had the exact same picks in that week, Nick was like saying something, and I was like, "This is a W family."
Yeah, you can say that.
Absolutely.
All right. We got Pats Dolphins.
Like I said,
Pats.
like I
Pats are coming
said,
back.
I
I'm gonna-
hope it happens, but I'm going
gonna-
with the Dolphins.
This is tough, dude. Mac Jones is on fire right now. The Dolphins are winning this game by 1,000,000.
I hate your sarcasm there.
The Dolphins should win this game handily. The Patriots cannot win in Miami.
Nor can Mac Jones win.
He just won last week, but yeah, the Dolphins are gonna win by a few scores, I think.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins as well. I think the Pats got lucky last week. I think in Miami, it's going to be tough.
It's just the truth.
All right, we got the subway battle: New York Jets,
The New
versus
Jersey
New York
Jets versus the New Jersey
Jersey.
Giants,
New
baby.
Jersey's,
Yeah.
baby.
Taking the Jets here.
I'll take the Giants here. I don't think either team is particularly good.
The Giants are awful, man.
They're at home. They'll
So are the Jets.
find
So
a
are
way
the
to pull it out.
Jets.
They'll find a way to pull it out,
It's a
trust.
home game for both teams.
I'm going with the Jets in a close one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jets. But it's gonna be a very, very ugly game.
They got to win for Aaron Rodgers to come back.
Yeah.
That's true, I guess. The only way he's coming back is if they make a deep playoff. Oh my. Okay, well, there's a green screen now. The only way the only way he's coming back maybe is if they make a deep playoff run, and that's not happening.
Correct.
Jags Steelers, my bad.
Taking the Jags in this one. The Steelers are going to – I'm not going to finish what I was just about to say, but the Jags are going to win.
Give me the Steelers.
I touched on it a second ago. I was wondering if the Steelers are for real. We can't have nice things, so I'm gonna take the Steelers in this game.
That's actually so real. The Bengals just can't have nice things.
The Steelers can't have 1 year where they're just actually a bad football team. And they're at home in Pittsburgh. Trevor Lawrence is a little bit banged up. I think the Steelers will do just enough to pull this game out.
But I think the Jags are going to win this game.
Thank you for repeating your take.
I'll go Jags too, but I think this is going to be a very ugly game. I think with Trevor being a little banged up and how good the Pittsburgh defense is, it's going to be a very low-scoring game. Because obviously the Pittsburgh offense can't score against even the Broncos, so I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game. But Falcons-Titans, another probably low-scoring game.
Falcons.
Yeah.
Also, Ryan Tannehill's not playing, more than likely. So they're going to be splitting time with Will Levis and
Yeah, the Falcons should win that game.
Yeah, by some miracle, Arthur Smith is going to have a winning record right now.
They already have a winning record.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
I can't stand it, dude.
I'm going to go Falcons as well.
They're literally winning the division, Zach.
That's not a high bar to.
I get that, but
Right.
they're still winning.
They are still winning.
They're gonna win the division. He'll be back as head coach next year. Mark my words.
That
And
probably
he
will end up
shouldn't
happening.
be. The Falcons.
Okay,
can
we
win.
get it.
We're not going into this again.
All right, what's the next
We
game?
we need to make those shirts like immediately.
We're gonna make all three of them.
We'll get on that.
Yeah.
The next game is the battle between the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick, Texans Panthers.
Texans.
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 And we lost Zach.
And Weaver will take the Texans probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not picking Bryce Young. We got Rams Cowboys. Somehow that's a 1 o'clock game. I don't know. how that's a
Yeah,
1 o'clock game.
it's in Dallas, so I guess I don't actually think the Rams are that bad of a football team, but I'm gonna take the Cowboys, so they're gonna be 3-5 after this game.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I think they'll finally learn to get the ball in the red zone.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys as well, just because I think their defense is pretty good. And
Pretty good.
the Rams are hot and cold.
Yeah.
And
'Cause-
Zach will remain a mystery. Nick's also
I dropped my phone.
losing
I
his
dropped my
camera
phone.
too.
I was
I got
about
my
to say, are we about to see your toes again?
No.
There he is.
Okay, I have no clue what just happened.
Zach, Vikings, Packers.
I unplugged it and plugged it back. Did you kick the power out of it? Because not
Never
one.
mind.
I have no idea.
Packers, Vikings.
Packers, Vikings. I'm gonna go Vikings.
Okay, wait. All right, what was? Thanks.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Packers,
What
Vikings.
Good pick.
Packers,
Pack-
Vikings.
I'm taking the Vikings.
I went Vikings.
Evan, you want to go Packers with me or no?
Sure, screw it.
All right, Packers.
I'll go Packers.
I think Jordan Love bounced that game.
Sure,
The
screw it.
Vikings will blow it up at the trade deadline after losing this game. It's my prediction.
That's nice.
Where else we got? Eagles, Commanders.
Eagles.
Eagles.
One should be fun.
Eagles. Somehow the
Commanders.
Commanders always play them
Eagles.
tight.
46 sacks in 7 games. They're going up against arguably the best pass rush in the NFL. Good luck.
Yeah,
Have fun.
That's tough.
Cam Hassler
somehow-
running for his life.
Somehow the Commanders always seem to make it a close game though against the Eagles.
They
So
do. They do. It will be closer probably than people think.
Yeah.
We got Browns, Seahawks.
I'm gonna go Browns.
I'm taking the Seahawks here.
I'm not the biggest Browns fan, so I'll go Seahawks in this game.
I think it's going to be exactly like the Colts game, and they're going to win because Myles Garrett is an absolute alien.
And the refs?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't know. The refs
Minus
won't
the
give the
ref
Browns a
part.
call because now they have a spotlight on them.
I was more meaning that the offense is going to do little to nothing, and the defense
And-
is going to
Defense wins the game for them.
Yeah.
Bengals, Niners.
Go ahead,
Do I
Zach.
want to be wrong or do I want to
The Niners are going to win this game by 21 points. I'm fully on that train. I don't think this game's going to be close at all.
You are kidding, right?
I'm not kidding. I think this is going to be a blowout.
That's bad, dude.
The Niners are going to be an angry football team after these past 2 weeks.
Okay. I'll go last here because I think I have a different
Keep the
take than all
suspense.
three of you.
We all
The
know who you're gonna
suspense
take.
going.
I'm going.
Hey,
I think the Niners win by a touchdown.
Okay, that's reasonable.
I think the
21
Niners
is egregious, Nick.
also win, but I think they only win by 10.
I was thinking 10, a touchdown or 10.
All right. Well, I get. I know I'm going to be wrong, but I'm going to do this just because be different is our thing. So I'll take the Bengals. But I know the Niners are going to win.
It's going to be 31-10 Niners, mark my word.
That is just absurd, dude. That
31-10 San Francisco.
like you say you're not a Bengals hater, but that's a bit much.
I don't think it is at all.
Okay.
31-10 Niners.
Ravens Cardinals should be good.
Ravens.
Battle of the
Is it bad that I
Prove
feel
that
like the
to me.
Ravens could lay an egg in this game?
I hope so. I really hope they do.
Really?
I'm
passionate
going
about
Ravens.
that,
though.
I'll take the Ravens.
Me too. I'm also going Ravens. The Cardinals are not good.
I hope they get
When's Tyler come back?
by a
Week 9 or
Been
week 10?
practicing. Week 9 or week 10. Interesting. Chiefs Broncos. We all know the ending of this game.
Chiefs.
You know it's supposed to
Chiefs.
snow.
Chiefs.
This game is supposed to snow.
Is it actually?
I don't think that's gonna
28
change
degrees
anything.
with
Wild.
snow.
Jeez.
Still going
I
Chiefs.
still think we know the outcome to this game.
Yeah, the Chiefs will win this game.
It could be a blizzard, and Patrick Mahomes could not have like his left leg, and they would still win.
Yeah.
Sunday night, Bears Chargers. What a
Why
game.
is this game Sunday night? Flex it out. Put the Texans Panthers on Sunday night. At least that game has a storyline.
Or Cowboys
Yeah.
Rams.
Yeah, or Browns,
Any
Seahawks,
game except
Bengals,
this game.
Niners, Jags, Steelers, like literally anything.
Well, we got Bears Chargers.
Chargers.
You're the NFL.
Yeah,
for one.
The Chargers will win this game. I think.
Chargers. I'm taking Chargers here.
I'm also gonna go Chargers. I think it won't be.
They gotta
I think
flex that,
won't
though,
be
dude.
close. Plus, what's his face? Fields isn't playing again, so
They
he's
gotta
Cajun
flex that.
Yeah.
getting massacred. Monday night we got Lions Raiders.
Is Jimmy G gonna play?
I don't think it matters.
I'm
let
just
me take
just
a
asking because I
look.
want to know.
He is questionable. Actually,
I'll take the Lions here.
yeah, he's questionable.
Okay. I just wanted to see.
Yeah, I think the Lions will be angry after their blowout to the Ravens. They're at home on Monday. It's a Monday night game. I don't know when the last time the Lions had a Monday night game at home was.
Last year.
Been a month.
Oh, actually,
I think they had one last year.
I'm gonna look this up. I don't
know
You
if that's
knew
true.
they're gonna be angry.
Well, yeah, they lost last week. Embarrassing.
So that's good because they're angry. That's gonna automatically secure a 21-point victory.
I know
Yeah.
they had a Sunday. They had a couple Sunday night. They had a Sunday night game. That might be what I'm thinking.
They played
It
the
was
Packers
this-
on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was in Green Bay though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna go with the Lions because the Raiders are an awful
Hot
football
garbage.
team.
Lions.
Yeah, they're 3-4. I don't understand how they're 3-4.
I'll
There's a
take
lot
the
of teams
Lions.
that actually have decent records that have no business having decent records.
Yeah.
Give me the
I think
Lions.
That goes.
I think
Good
after this,
Lions.
I'm gonna tally up our overall scores and see how we're doing on the year.
Yeah.
And then we'll let you guys know how well we're doing next one. I'll put a graphic on the screen or something.
Let's
Did we
go.
talk about the Colts Saints game or no?
No, we don't need to. No one cares.
Okay.
I can't remember if we did.
We
or
skipped
not.
over that one. We skipped over that one.
We might have. Colts Saints, my bad.
Game doesn't.
I
Yeah,
didn't
Colts are
see it.
bad. Yeah.
I'll take the Colts in this one though.
I'll also take the Colts.
I'm gonna go with the Saints in this game. Call me a fake fan,
Yeah.
but I don't.
You're all fake fans.
The
I'm the
Col-
only one with the Bengals here.
The Colts. I'm not a Bengals fan.
Well, those two.
The
are.
Colts' next 5 games are incredibly easy, but they could go either 5-0 or 0-5 or anywhere in between.
I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
Saints also.
So
I don't think
Colts-
Minshew is capable of putting up 4 touchdowns again.
Yeah. So that's true. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. I know we haven't done one in a couple weeks, but we're getting back. We're getting back into our routine of getting one a week. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.